the show for entrepreneurs. I'm your host, June Middleton. We have really a very unique group of musical entrepreneurs here this evening. They produce their music collectively, and they're going to explain to us how that works. And I'm really just anxious, and it'll be fascinating to hear how it does work. So I am just thrilled and delighted to have here with us this evening the collective musical group of Sketches, and I am pleased to introduce to you Sketches. Certainly got me in the groove. I hope it worked for all of you too. That was really nice, and that was sweet. Jeremy, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. You were here with Plainville. Would you please introduce everyone in the group of Sketches, and we're going to talk to each of you individually, but go ahead, please.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back anyway.
You know,
I'm
it's
Jeremy
a pleasure.
Dean, playing the alto saxophone. This is Matt Holman at the trumpet, Jarrett Cherner at the keyboard, Martin Nevin at the bass, and Zeev Ravitz playing the drums.
Oh, welcome to all of you. What a great pleasure, and what a thrill for me to have you here, and certainly to have you back. Okay, what's been going on since I last saw you? I know that you were here with Plainville about a year ago, and that you've been doing a lot of teaching and traveling. What else is going on with you? Just to give us an update.
Sure.
How did you get started?
You mean since the last time I saw you, or?
No, let's go all the way back to, what were you, 10?
10 years old, sure. Let's go back to 10, yeah.
But we'll fast forward.
Okay, yeah, this will take longer than a half hour, I think.
We don't have much time.
So, yeah, when I was 10, a really cool guy named Dave Pope from the high school I was at, I was in elementary school, and one of the kids in the high school came down and they played a concert for us at the elementary school, and he was wearing really cool suspenders and a tie, and he took a saxophone solo, and he was leaning back and ripping, you know, and I just thought...
I don't believe that. That's what got
it absolutely happened, and I'm still in touch with him to this day, actually.
So where are yours?
With my suspenders, I left them at home,
Oh,
so
okay.
sorry. Next time, June. Yeah.
So now, how long have you been here in New York?
I've been here, I guess this is about 8 years. I was in Boston for 9, and then I spent 2 years.
Did you go to school in Boston as well?
I did. I went to school in Boston. I'm from Massachusetts, and
the conservatory?
Went to the New England Conservatory, which is where Jarrett went as well. That's where we met.
That's terrific.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and then I spent a couple years sort of in both cities at the same time.
Now, you were classically trained as well, weren't you?
Yes.
I mean, going to a conservatory.
Yeah, at the conservatory. I mean, it was a jazz program, but I took classical, you know, composition and history and theory and all that as well. So.
Now, you've played a lot of places around the world. Has your music and your multiple genres in music been influenced by places that you've gone, like China and Africa and... Scandinavian countries? Absolutely,
yeah. I mean, Ethiopia was a huge trip for me, and it's really influenced almost everything I've done since, you know, whether direct. It's not always noticeable in my music, but it was really a special trip for me in particular. So.
Well, I know that you and Jared, you said you were actually met at the Boston Conservatory, so I'd like to talk to you.
Oh, Jeremy and I, you know, we met and we may have played a little bit at the New England Conservatory in Boston, but really this is our first sort of long-standing project that we've been involved in together.
Oh, that's really great. Now, you're not a New Yorker. You're based here in New York, yes, but...
we all live in Brooklyn, actually, but none of us are from Brooklyn. I'm from San Francisco, California.
Oh, the Bay Area.
Yeah, the Bay Area.
Now, did you do a lot of jam sessions in a club someplace in...
Oh, yeah. When I lived in San Francisco, I used to run a weekly jam session at a spot called the Grant and Green in North Beach.
Oh,
which
that must have been fun.
Oh, it was a great time. Yeah, great house band, some really talented players in the Bay Area.
I mean, it's just sort of like people would come in and sing.
Oh, yeah, the jam session situation, usually there's a house band, something similar to this, maybe just a quartet instead of a quintet, play an opening set, and then musicians from the community or visiting musicians, touring musicians will come and sit in. It's a great way to meet people.
That doesn't go on that much anymore, does it, here in New York? I mean, that used to be very popular.
It still goes on for sure. Every night in New York you can find a session. Usually they're late, after midnight.
Right, after the main show.
If you want to make the hang, you stay out till 3 a.m. 4 a.m., suffer the subway rides home after that. Maybe crash around 6, and then decide you're never going to do that again.
Yeah, it reminds me of the breakfast shows that used to go on in Chicago. There was a place called Club de Lisa that I remember. And
the breakfast shows is in for people who've been up all night?
Yeah, right. That's it exactly. Exactly. And there was a restaurant, Wells, in Harlem, that they catered to the breakfast crowd of the jam sessions that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is wonderful. Now, you have a master's degree in
I do.
Music, and you teach?
I do that as well.
And you're an adjunct professor?
That's also true. You got your facts straight.
Wonderful. So, tell me something more about that. I mean, how...
Well, you mentioned the master's degree first. After Jeremy and I studied together in Boston at the New England Conservatory, I moved back to the Bay Area for a number of years, which is where I was involved with that weekly jam session.
Yeah.
And after a few years, I decided to come back east, and I moved in 2008 to New York. And enrolled at the Manhattan School of Music in their master's program.
Wow.
Which is where Matt and I met.
Yeah.
And also Martin. Martin was there doing his undergraduate degree.
Well, let's talk to Martin. And I love your red keyboard.
Thank you very much. Here's Martin.
Great. You just give Martin. I'm always happy to have a bass player on the show. My brother plays bass, and
wonderful.
I think one of your inspirations, you were influenced by Thelonious Monk.
Yes.
My brother played with him.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, when he was a young bassist. That
Yeah.
was. Yeah, and he's out in Los Angeles. That's where you come from, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh, that's great. Well, how did it come to be that Thelonious Monk? Because he wasn't a bass player, was he?
No. Actually,
he
I
played
was.
the piano.
That's right. I was in a jazz band in middle school, and our teacher showed us this one song called "Straight No Chaser" by Monk, and I had no idea who Monk was. So I went and he gave me the sheet music, and I went and picked up the record and I put it on, and I could not understand what was going on at all. I listened to it over and over again and had my electric bass out at the time and the music, and I just could not understand why. It's a blues song, but it has some extra kind of chords, and
Yeah,
I
it's
could
like
not
the first
figure it out.
time I heard Arnett Coleman.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same kind of disconnect. What's he playing?
I sat there stumped, but I loved the record, and the record is called "Straight No Chaser." It's one of my favorites, and Monk for me he's one of my favorite
He's a
composers and
classic
pianists.
in himself. Yeah. Now, where did you go to school? You were at Manhattan School of Music.
I did,
also?
yeah. I studied there for my undergraduate and finished after that.
I've had so many musicians, outstanding musicians from the Manhattan School of Music. We have to form a club at some point. So, but where home for you is California?
Yes, Los Angeles.
But you performed around the world, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah,
what
I've
are
done
some
some
of the places?
traveling. Yeah, I've done some traveling in Europe and Canada and playing around the States as well. Yeah.
That is just so exciting. You're all so diverse, and yet you're coming together so very nicely. Ziv, welcome. You were born in Israel,
Yes.
in a musical family.
Yeah.
Did anyone play the drums?
No, actually, my dad wished I'm not gonna play any drums or violin. That was his wish.
Yeah.
He's a guitar player, and I chose drums from a very young age.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I decided, I pushed for drum, and at the age of 10, he decided to buy me the worst drums he can find. I had to tie them to the wall with ropes so they're not gonna fall. And he said, if you hold for 3 years on this, we get better drums. And that was the beginning of my journey.
Oh, gee. I guess, was there a barn or garage or someplace
My
that
room.
You could be shut out?
My room. I had a room.
Your
and this-
room. So they all had headphones.
And when I left home, funny enough, my mom said she had harder time to sleep because she didn't hear the drums.
Oh, gee. Well, you played a lot and have played a lot in Tel Aviv, haven't you? What is the jazz scene like there?
Well, I haven't been to Israel I've moved out of Israel about 13 years ago, so
13?
yeah.
Oh, that's not that long.
But the Israeli jazz scene is something that is, it's really hard to explain because in New York especially, you see a lot of Israeli musicians, and compared to the size of the country, the amount of successful musicians of Israeli origin, it's incredible. The amount is just incredible, and so I'm pretty proud to be a member of that genre of musicians. And in Israel, there's not the scene is not that big. I mean, there's a lot of really good musicians, but there's not a lot of clubs. So there's not a lot of places to play, but there's still a lot of really great musicians there. So.
Oh, that's terrific. That's terrific. Well, it's just so nice to have you with your talent here.
Thank you.
It's just such a pleasure. And Matt, what I'd like to do is, you have been described as a lyrical trumpet player, but yet someone wrote a review about you saying that you were what? Deceptive and cunning?
Wow.
How do you do that on a horn?
I don't know how I do anything on a horn. The trumpet is a fickle friend, I suppose. Dizzy Gillespie had a quotation, something along the lines of, you know, you battle the trumpet each day, and at the end of your life, the trumpet wins. You know, so.
So how's it going?
I'm still working on it. I get up every day, you know. I guess I try to bring something mysterious when I play, and I appreciate any nice comments from reviewers.
Yeah,
and I think
it works what you're doing.
Thanks.
It definitely works. And now you've taught all over the U.S.
Sure.
Haven't you? And where's home for you, though?
Brooklyn. I'm originally from Arizona.
Oh, home is Brooklyn now.
Home is definitely Brooklyn now.
Oh, okay. I
but
hear that
originally,
a lot. I don't know what it is about Brooklyn, but once somebody gets there,
there's space.
Right. Yeah. So, did you at some point win a Charlie Parker Award?
Yes, a couple of years ago I won the Charlie Parker Jazz Composition Prize.
What was that? Was this through a foundation or something? Or?
I was a member of the BMI Jazz Composers Workshop, which is led by Jim McNeely and Mike Hollibert, two of the best jazz composers around, and I was a member of that workshop for 3 years. And during my second year, I was nominated to be in this concert, and my piece was selected by Rufus Reid and Jane Ira Bloom, and so I won a little money and got a commission. It was really nice.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's terrific. Well, you've had some interesting inspirations. Wayne Shorter, haven't heard that name for a while, but also Dmitri Shostakovich. How did those two come together to inspire your music?
Sure. I mean, I think the freedom that comes from Wayne Shorter's music. I mean, Wayne Shorter's latest record this year, Without a Net, has been on the best of lists. And so even in his 80s, I don't know what his exact age, but he's still, you know, he brings a very creative and free aspect to his compositions and also his improvisation. And Dmitri Shostakovich, I mean, I grew up playing classical music, and hearing his symphonies really inspired me. So.
Well, that's wonderful. And I mean, you talk about playing classical music, which your music sort of has a classical tinge to it, which is really great. So let's hear some more of it. You're all individually skilled and talented, so let's hear the collective at this point. And what's it going to be? Solo?
Solo piano.
Hit it. incredibly lovely chord changes. Oh, jeepers, that's nice. Is that on your album? Is that piece on your album?
Sorry for the delay. That's a
It's
newer
okay.
piece, actually. It's not on the current album yet, but the other two pieces that we're playing are on the album. So.
And I have your album here. Just what I'd like to do, I mean, we're almost out of time, believe it or not. What I'd like very much to know, though, is how does the collective work? Somebody composes or does a piece and sort of like puts it on a bold billboard, and others come and say, I like this, I like that, I don't like this. How does it work? And does it always work?
I think I can field that question. The basic premise for this band, where we get our name Sketches, is that we all, we pass around incomplete tunes, sketches of music. Usually, actually it's always been written down. So a piece of, a beginning of a tune, a musical idea, a collection of ideas, something like that. We pass them around, and we each sort of choose one of these sketches that we didn't write from somebody else, and use that as inspiration for our own composition.
Oh, this is unique. I'm sure you know this. Without, I mean, it's not the usual composer, leader, organizer for the band, but and it sounds almost democratic, and it's just something that's different and unique, and it works because your music is beautiful. What are your marketing plans for your album?
This album we released on our own independent label, Bald Hill Records, and let's see, we've been marketing it through social media, Facebook, through Twitter, through email blasts. We've been sending out a sort of a publicity campaign to radio stations and print magazines and online blogs, and some of the reviews have already started coming in, which have been very nice.
Oh, that's great. That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the key. Your music is wonderful, but if nobody hears it, if it's not marketed properly, then you know it's
Sketches
nice
plays at
on
the Woods.
the CD. So, but it's great, and you are terrific. You play together beautifully, and I just really appreciate so much you coming and giving us the opportunity to hear your music. We want to hear more music, but as I said, we're just about at the end of the show, so I'd like to thank our wonderful crew for helping us put this show together, and Ed, our director, and our other people in the control room, and of course a very, very special thanks to Rich and Manhattan Neighborhood Network for making this show possible. You have been watching Minding Your Business, the show for absolutely outstanding, incredible musical and other types of businesses, entrepreneurs. Please see yourself where you want to be. Join us again for another fantastic show. And in the few minutes that we have left, I'd like Sketches to play us out, playing a piece called...
This piece is called Trust.
Take it away.